Again, this is Uncle TJ back with another video. Hey, listen, I've been really seeing a lot of this viral video of Mother Johnnie Ruth Irving's pound cake. So in honor of Black History Month, we're going to go ahead and honor her by baking her cake. This is coming from a young man who posted his video on a group on Facebook, and it's going viral. It looks like everybody's enjoying it. So we want to make sure that we want to go ahead and do our part to contribute to the commemoration of this woman who seems to be very wonderful, has had a huge impact on many lives. And this was her recipe for a cake that she used to bake. So we want to go ahead and do that. Now, there's a couple things that are a little bit different from a normal pound cake. And let me just also say this. I was reared in the church, and the mothers played a vital impact in our lives when we were growing up. They were surrogate mothers, they were disciplinarians, they were wells of wisdom, all kinds of things, and they showed us what women should look like, and they were women of God. And another thing, they didn't play. They did not play. They seen you getting out of order, they straightened you. But they were also the ones who had the cinnamon candies, so those cinnamon candies, the peppermints, and things of that nature. So, you know, they were always a joy to be around. But one thing that they did make quite often was a pound cake, more especially for me, my background growing up, it was the lemon cake. Oh my goodness. That is my childhood favorite cake outside of the pound cake. And so whenever we had dinners at the church, you would go back into the fellowship hall, and you can find pound cake and you can find that lemon cake. So my go-to was the lemon cake. But again, in honor of Black History Month, which is coming to an end here pretty soon, we wanted to honor not only Mother Johnnie Ruth Irving, but all the mothers who stood in the place of perhaps absentee mothers, or were just a pillar of the church to show us what elegance and grace look like. So let's go ahead and get to this cake. You all already know this going into the silver bullet. Because of the ingredients in the cake, or the lack thereof, we're going to be using the wire whisk on this today. So our flour, we have 2.5 cups of cake flour. I've gone ahead and sifted that. We have 2¼ cup of granulated sugar. We have 3 sticks of salted butter. We're going to be using sweetened condensed milk. This happens to be Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. It doesn't matter which one you use. They're all pretty much the same. And I've gone ahead and measured that out into 3/4 cup. We're going to be using 7 eggs. We're going to be using 7 whole eggs. Now, with the extracts, you're supposed to use 1 drawer teaspoon of lemon extract and also vanilla extract. But I got a special treat for you today. We're going to be using Uncle TJ's vanilla extract, and yes, it has vanilla beans in it. Woohoo! It is a special treat for you all. So you all see that? That's Uncle TJ's vanilla extract. All right, so we're going to be using that. So it's vanilla and lemon extract that you're going to be using, and you're supposed to use a drawer teaspoon. So we're going to be sticking to this recipe exactly the way that she said to do this. I've seen different variations. People putting glaze, people putting 1 less egg because they said it was eggy, all this other kind of stuff. Listen, I believe that if you're going to honor somebody, I think that you should do it exactly the way that they said to do it and go from there. If you're going to put her name on her cake, other than that, it's your cake. Just my humble opinion. So we'll be right back to you. We're going to go ahead and get everything situated, get you over to the mixing bowl, the mixer, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So we're going to preheat our oven to 325 degrees. And this should bake for about an hour and 25 minutes, all right? And we're gonna do it in a bundt pan today, which I will, I'm gonna be using I know people have been going nostalgic, using either butter or shortening and flour. I had my share of that growing up with my mother. I was the one in charge of doing that, so I'm gonna be using Baker's Joy. We're gonna be combining the old with the new. So we'll be right back to you. Okay, so first off, what we want to do is go ahead and start to cream our butter. And we just want to kind of get it, kind of mashed up there a little bit. And then we want to go ahead and start adding our 2 1/4 cups of sugar. And for this process, we want to kind of start out a little bit low, so that way we don't have any product, flash out of the bowl or anything like that. And what we want to do is we want to cream our butter and sugar for at least 10 minutes. The reason being is because this does not have any leavening, no baking soda or sugar. Excuse me, baking soda or baking powder. And so therefore we want to make sure that we are putting in air into our butter and sugar. And so it could be light and fluffy and also rise during the process. So as we can see here, this is what we want. Our butter and sugar have creamed up to where it's white and you don't hear the sugar crystals. You all already know the deal, and make sure that you are scraping down your bowl during that 10-minute process to make sure that everything is getting incorporated well. And so therefore we're about to put in our 7 egg yolks. We're about to put in our 7 eggs. And so this is, again, a rich cake. We want to make sure we're still putting in our eggs one at a time, incorporate the egg one at a time, and as it disappears, drop the other one. This doesn't take very, very long. It doesn't take very long at all. And we want to kind of do this as a moderate speed to make sure that everything is getting well combined and incorporated. And again, you want to make sure during this process that you are scraping down your bowl. So once you get that last egg incorporated, go ahead and stop it and scrape down the side of your bowls. Now, if you have a paddle that has a paddle mixer that has a scraper on it, that's fine, but still, it doesn't get everything. You want to still make sure that you go ahead and scrape down the side of your bowl. Okay, so now here we're going to be using my own homemade vanilla extract, Uncle TJ's vanilla extract. We're going to be using that draw teaspoon, just like the recipe calls for. Mother Irving says to use a draw teaspoon. So there it is. You see it. And we're taking it directly out of the Uncle TJ's vanilla extract. And we're using our regular lemon extract, same measurement. And so there we go. We want to go ahead and put that in there. So we're putting both of those directly into the milk. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that those get stirred in very well. Now, as you all know, the sweetened condensed milk is a thick, sweetened milk. But, you just want to make sure that you get that incorporated very, 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 very well. Okay. So here we go. Hey, man, this is a very, very easy thing to do here. So what we're going to do now, and the part that I left out, is that when we do the milk and the sugar, the flour, we want to alternate dry and then liquid. And you want to start with dry, end with dry. So I apologize that clip didn't make it in this one, and I'm still kind of new to this, so I appreciate your patience. But yes, we are at the point where everything is, you don't want to overmix that batter as well. Just do it enough to where as you see that flour disappear and gets incorporated, and then stop it, add your milk, stop it, and then add your flour. You don't want to overdo it because you will cause gluten and you'll have a tough cake. So here, this is going to go into the oven at 325 for an hour and 20 minutes. And hey, I hope you all enjoy this. And it's a wonderful, 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 wonderful cake. Well, gang, there it is. Miss Mother Johnnie Ruth Irving's pound cake. Looks very, very good. Kind of went over the borders, but that's all right. It looks delicious. Yeah, I didn't fill it all the way up. I kind of figured it would do that. That's why I used the rest of it. I didn't put all the batter in there, but this is what it looks like. All right, so we're going to let this cool down, and then we're going to invert it. And then, hey, here we go. All right, gang, she has cooled off to my satisfaction. It's a beautiful cake. Look at that. It looks like it's going to barely hold it. So we're about to invert this bad boy now. All right, Miss Johnnie Ruth Irving, here's to you. Looks like those corners may want to try to hold. And there it is. As you can see, it is a beauty. It smells divine. It is wonderful, wonderful cake. And again, it tastes amazing. Hey, listen, again, I hope that you all enjoyed this time.